WHO scale diorama. I'm going to be starting with this piece of not cardboard, styrofoam. Because I can lay a piece of cardboard over the top, so it'll smooth it out. It has nice spaces down here on the edges and stuff, so yeah, that's gonna be my base. That's the first part when you're making a diorama, so I'll cut to the next step now. So next I'm gonna trace the styrofoam onto the cardboard so I can easily cut it out and put it on the top. So I'll cut to the final product of that because it's going to be pretty hard to trace with a phone in one hand and a pencil in the other. I have the cardboard cut out, so now I'm going to glue it on to here and then place it on. So and now I'm going to weigh down each side so it glues correctly, like that. Alright, so next I'll cut to laying down where I'm going to put the track. It's the next day, the glue is cured. Now we have a nice structure. I'll give it the drop test. Survived it, alright. So now I can get on to tracing where I want to put the track. So now I'm just going to trace the outline of a track with a Sharpie. So now I have it lined up where I'm putting the track, so I can take this off, start doing some of the messier work with scenery and stuff like that. So my plan is that this is going to be a flat area here, but this right here is going to be a hill that comes up. So I guess I'll cut to that. I'm going to build it out of foam and cover it with the plastic cloth. Alright, so I have all the foam on the hill. It's all glued down in place and stuff, all sturdy. So I'm going to show you guys how to do plaster cloth. It's a pretty straightforward process. It's on the package usually, but I figured wouldn't hurt, so yeah. Alright, so this is gonna be kind of a quick thing how I use the plaster cloth. So first I cut a small piece off the roll. Whatever size will fit. You probably want multiple on there instead of just one giant one. So you see that, and over here I have water. So you just want to take it like this and drag it right through the water so it gets a little bit of a soaking. And then you just drape it over whatever structure you want to look smooth. Alright, so that's one piece. Now you're gonna want to cut a couple more to cover the rest of what you have on your layout, your diorama, whatever you're doing. So the size of these pieces, they can depend on what you're covering, the size of your layout, like the size of the hill. Actually, I'm gonna put this sideways. Oh, smooth together. Don't want that. But plaster cloth will give you some really nice results It may be a little expensive, but I personally think it's worth it if you're looking for some good looking results. So I'll cut to when that is done, because I don't want to stretch this video out too long. So yeah. Alright, so the plaster cloth is all done, so it's all dry and stuff. Nice and sturdy. So now I'm gonna lay down to the roadbed for my track, just so the track comes up off the ground a little bit, and it adds just that little bit more realism to it. So I'll cut to when that happens, because once again it will be pretty hard to do something like that with one hand, because I'm holding the phone in my other. So I have the roadbed all down. It's just the normal stuff I use, just the Woodland Scenics, the like black roadbed. Looks like that. It's flexible, easy to bend and stuff. And I just have it pinned down with pins that you can see right there. And that's holding it down nicely. It's not moving, so I'll keep those. They'll just get covered up by the ballast in the end of it. So yeah, those are your basic steps for the start. And now I'm going to start moving on to scenery. Alright, so when it first comes to scenery, normally I just take some Elmer's washable clear glue. You could find this anywhere. It actually, it doesn't have to be clear. It can be as long as it'll dry clear. So what I normally do is just I get a couple lines of it down. It's being a little difficult because I don't have a lot of it left. Just make sure that it gets down there. And then what I like to do is I take a piece of cardboard and just spread it out so it's like an even surface. And then from there, I take my turf and I get some on top of there. So I'll clean this up and spread it out and stuff later. I just gotta get an amount of it on. So that's always produced good results for me. It's looking nice there. So I'll do the rest of the hill. I'll throw in like a slightly different color in there too. Just change it up a little bit. And yeah, I'll cut to when that's all done. Okay, so I did the rest of the turf on the hill and a little bit down here. This spot right here, I'm gonna put this give me a second. This signal box, because I think that'll look nice next to the track. So yeah, I'll cut the track so it fits in this space, and I'll do the ballast. And I'll show how to do the ballast, but I'll just cut to when the track is there and in place. Alright, so for the ballasting, it can be kind of a lengthy and messy process, so I'm gonna do one track just to show on the video, and then I'll cut to when the other one is done. But this is how you ballast HO track, or at least how I do it. I used a ballast spreader. You don't need one of these. You can just use a plastic spoon to get it on there. But mine, I 3D printed it. It fits right on the track. It's really nice. It's made some great results for me over here on my full layout. That look awesome. But for here, you just want you want some small scale, not very time consuming, so I use the spreader, I pour it in, then I take it and I push it down the track. Because that will evenly spread it out. And you notice how it's all over the top of the ties? You don't want that. So what I do is I take a spoon and I tap the top of the track. And usually it'll bounce off the ties, but I think I moved a little too slow with the ballast spreader. So it put a little too much on here, so I'm just going to brush it out with my finger and then tap it, and it should be good. This is really my favorite part of model railroading, is doing the scenery, because it's great to create a scene that you can run your trains through, watching it come to life through all the steps as you make it. So, you know, this doesn't need to be perfect because it's not powered and I'm not running anything on it, but you really got to be careful when you do ballast on your actual layout, because you don't want to get it where the flanges go on the engines and the cars, or else it'll mess them up, it'll derail them. So it's very important to have your ballasting done neat and clean. So, one, it looks nice, and two, it doesn't destroy anything on your layout. So, that's probably good right there. So now I'm going to show you how to glue it down to the base. So, the way that I find gluing down ballast the most easy is, first you're going to need a spray bottle, and you're going to put water and a little bit of dish soap in it. And this is going to break the surface tension on the gravel so this glue can sink into it. So I come up here so it's a fine mist before it hits there. And I just spray it down and make sure everything gets a good soak before I get the glue on there. So secondly, this, you might notice it's a little liquidy, and it's supposed to be like that because this is glue mixed with some water, so it'll seep in. So this doesn't have to be clear glue; it can be anything. But you put it between the ties, anywhere that needs to be weighed down, and you can see it sink right into the ballast. See, normally if you're on a powered layout, you want to be careful with this, but this is just a diorama, so I get to be a little reckless with putting it on there. So yeah, I'll cut to later. I'll put the signal box and the signal gantry back on it, and that'll be it. So this is the final product. I think it came out great. We've got the signal box, the gantry, we've got the trees and stuff. So I'll probably use this in future videos if I end up doing stuff like going over rolling stock and like reviews of engines and stuff. But I think it's pretty cool, so if you have any questions about building one, if you want to do one yourself, just to leave one in the comments, and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever I make another video again, because I don't know when that's going to be.